Good evening, everybody. It is time once again. It is WrestleScope Live 122. It is time for the Money in the Bank predictions. Good evening, everybody. I am the Great O-Jon. That's right. Kid is awesome. Hello. Welcome in on Instagram. We are live once again. Wait a second. Hello, Luke. You traveled to the dark side. You came to Wisconsin. Do you mind sharing where in Wisconsin you are? I'm assuming you were in the Northwoods. Since you came over from Minnesota. Did you hear the big news about the Big Ten? We're getting a couple of Pac-12 teams in the Big Ten in 2 years. Cardi B made a new song about Jimmy Snuka. Oh, boy. Hello, Marcus. Good to see you. Hope all is well with you. Madtown. Yes. Watch out for all the liberals. Okay, that's the only political statement I'm going to make. All right. We're going to dive right into this. We have, after, for the Dave Matthews Band. Yeah, we're just going to chill back and listen to some Dave Matthews. Sorry. I don't know what the heck that was. After an absolutely horrendous SmackDown tonight, what kind of brain-dead pot-smoking monkey is running creative for SmackDown right now? That was a god-awful go-home show for a pay-per-view. Good grief, Marcus. The song is called Hot Shit. Or SmackDown was... All right, let's just get into this. We're falling off the rails here. All right. So as of right now, there is no pre-show matches. They may throw something in late in the day tomorrow, but as of right now, there are no pre-show matches. So I'm just going to randomly go through these matches because I am assuming the men's Money in the Bank is going to be the main event tomorrow night. I would speculate that would be. I believe the women's Money in the Bank is going to open the show. The men's is going to close the show, and they're just going to kind of fill with everything else. That's how it's going to work. I don't know. But let's start off with, let's get the women's championship matches out of the way, because I think these are going to be the easiest matches ever to predict. And I do have positive ones picks. So of course, as we go through each individual match, again, throw in the comments what your we'll get to that, Lucas. What your prediction, for the individual matches is. So let's go ahead and start with the Raw Women's Championship match. It is Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion, taking on Carmella. Carmella, who is a fill-in for Rhea Ripley, who was out with an injury. Now, it was originally said it was a brain injury, but then I heard a report that she had to have some dental work done. I don't know. But she is out right now, and it's just not looking good for the Judgment Day right now, to be perfectly honest. I think that faction is going to go absolutely nowhere. Nowhere. Excuse me. Honestly, I don't think they could have done much better for a fill-in for this match. You know, they already had plans for Becky Lynch to be in Money in the Bank. Asuka's in Money in the Bank. You've got Liv and you've got Alexa Bliss in Money in the Bank. So who else could they really throw into this match? They threw in Carmella. It'll be okay. It'll be all right. There's no way Bianca does not win this match. Okay? Really, Lucas? Really? Lucas is going with Carmella. Blake's going with Bianca. Marcus is going with Bianca. And Positive One and I have agreed that it is Asuka. Sorry, Bianca. It's Asuka. Good grief. It's Bianca. All right. On to the second championship match, which, oh, man. Yet another Ronda Rousey match where the build has just been terrible. Terrible. Can we please get her a manager that can talk for her? Please. Please, please, please. Can we make it happen? Ronda Rousey, the SmackDown Women's Champion, taking on her former friend and now I guess the way you could put it is the woman that she's just going to share personal barbs with here, Natalia, where it's basically become the baby versus the boobs. Is that what it is? I don't know. I think this match actually is probably going to be better. I don't know. It's hard to say which one of the two women's championship matches are actually going to be better. I mean, Carmella actually is a decent wrestler. She has really improved over the years, and her and Bianca actually do have some pretty good chemistry in the ring. You would think that Natty and Ronda would be good together because Natty's the one that really trained Ronda, the WWE style of wrestling. But I don't know. I mean, this is just why didn't they just make this a submission match? Everybody on Twitter was asking this tonight. Why didn't they make this a submission match? Ronda Rousey, all the way. They're not going to put the belt on Natty. I don't believe. Now, let me just state this right now. I don't believe we are going to see a woman's cash in at Money in the Bank this year. I think whoever wins that briefcase is going to hold on to it for a little bit. They're not going to do the hot shotting of the briefcase like they've done pretty much every year where it's been the same night. They're not going to do that this time around because, Bianca and Ronda literally just won the belts not that long ago, and they're not going to take those titles off of them quite yet. They've got some pretty big marquee matchups still left to do for both of these ladies. So Bianca and Ronda are both going to walk out with their titles, and that's the direction that Positive One and I are both going. The United States Championship match. This is a tough one because we don't really know what the plans for Theory are right now. There's been the rumors that Theory is going to face John Cena at SummerSlam. But is it going to be for the United States Championship? I believe that is going to be really a passing of the torch type match where John Cena is basically going to hand it off to the guy that's being anointed as the next John Cena, which I could see it with Theory. He's good on the mic. He's got a good look. He's a good wrestler. He's young. I mean, if he stays healthy and doesn't do anything stupid, this guy's got a huge career ahead of him. Bobby Lashley is a guy that, man, this has been a weird year for Lashley. He was on top of the world or near the top of the world, and then, he's been stuck in this feud with Omos and MVP for a while, and now he's challenging Theory, and he's doing these, There's baby oil going on and all this other garbage. I don't know. I don't see Theory leaving without the title, but I don't see him cleanly beating Lashley. So what I think we're going to get here is a Bobby Lashley DQ win. Bobby Lashley technically will get the win in this match, but Theory will still walk out with the belt. And maybe there will be a rematch down the road, and I don't know. I mean, they have to start building for SummerSlam soon. But I can't foresee Austin Theory cleanly beating Bobby Lashley. So both Positive One and I have gone with Lashley winning, but I have put in the caveat it's going to be a DQ win. I'm gonna give Positive One, a little grace here because he's still learning about the world of wrestling. Okay, so whatever way, he's not saying Lashley's going to be the champion. It's just Lashley's going to get a win. Luke's going with the bald man. Blake is going with Theory, with Cena coming out after the match. Lucas, I kind of knew who you were talking about. Okay. Back to Rousey versus Natalia Marcus. I'm sorry, I completely missed that. You said she was going to win with a double armbar submission. That'll be interesting to see. All right, next up, we've got the undisputed WWE Universal Tag Team. Well, no, it's actually the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus the Street Profits. This match is going to steal the show. Give these guys 20 minutes, please. We only have 6 matches on this card. The 2 Money in the Bank matches are going to go at least 20, 25 minutes each. Please give these guys 20 to 25 minutes. Please. They will tear the house down. This is what, again, my head says it's an easy pick, but my heart says maybe we could see a change. Maybe we could. But I think the time for the Bloodline to start losing any titles is not quite there yet. I think this is the beginning of a longer feud between these two teams, which hopefully will continue at SummerSlam in some way, shape, or form. I don't think that the Usos are going to lose here. I think they're going to cheat their way to a victory somehow. And it's going to keep the door open for a follow-up match with some sort of a stipulation against the Street Profits at SummerSlam. Because if you think about it, who else is there? Who else is there right now to challenge the Usos? Yeah, you have some teams out there. You've got the New Day. You've got the Viking Raiders. You've got Alpha Academy. The Dirty Dogs. I don't know what happened to Bobby Roode. Ziggler's back. Roode's gone again. You really don't have much unless somebody gets called up from NXT, which I don't see a tag team coming up anytime soon from NXT. You really don't have a lot of teams that could vie for the championship. Build to something bigger. Build to something stipulation-based for SummerSlam where it's going to be a match that everybody's going to want to see. Put them into the position where they may not be the main event, but damn, they're going to steal the show. And these are 4 guys that could definitely do it. I'm going with the Usos. I believe they are going to cheat to win. And this is just going to be the first in a long line of what will hopefully be similar to the Usos versus the New Day, where they had just an incredible rivalry for a couple of years, where this is going to be setting up the Street Profits to be eventually the undisputed tag team champions. Yep, Marcus says, yep, it's going to be a win, but not a clean finish. Back to the Lashley theory. So Lashley's going to get DQ'd by using the steel chair? Okay. All right, so this is the first one that Positive One and I disagree on. He is going with the Street Profits. He's going with the Street Profits to win. All right, so let's see. Let's go into our comments here real quick. We've got Lucas going with the Usos, Blake with the Usos. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I see those comments coming up. We'll get to that in a little bit. All right, let's go to the men's Money in the Bank match first, even though that is going to be the main event. And the graphic I've got, yes, I know I'm missing the 7th man. We've got Riddle, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Omos, Sheamus, Sami Zayn, and Madcap Moss. Madcap Moss won the Fatal 4-Way to move on to Money in the Bank. Was that the right move by WWE? I'm not sure. Considering the 4 guys, I cannot believe I'm going to say this. I wouldn't have minded seeing Miz in there. Because Miz, who had a major faux pas tonight, though, when he came out and said, I am the only man to have won Money in the Bank twice. CM Punk back-to-back years won it. 2 years in a row. Yes, technically Edge was a 2-time Money in the Bank contract holder, but he defeated Mr. Anderson for his second one or Mr. Kennedy, when good old Ken Kennedy got into a little bit of trouble and needed to leave WWE for a little while. So technically he's not not technically. He's not the only 2-time Money in the Bank contract winner. With all that, let's narrow it down first. Omos is not winning. Madcap Moss is not winning. No offense to Sheamus. Sheamus is not winning. So we've got it down to Riddle, Rollins, McIntyre, and Zayn. I like the idea of Sami Zayn winning it to protect Roman Reigns, to keep that contract and protect. And maybe down the road they can have him tease that, maybe he's going to do it. Maybe he's going to do it because Roman's never going to lose the title. I don't think they're going to go that road. Riddle, yes, this is his way of getting around the that stupid stipulation that they had where if he didn't beat Roman in that one match, he'd never get to wrestle Roman for that championship again. Kind of stupid. I don't think it's going to be Riddle. Drew McIntyre, conceivable, very conceivable, but they're already talking about a match between him and Roman at Clash at the Castle. Now, it hasn't been confirmed yet. They've been pushing it. They're making it seem like that. And then there's Seth Rollins, the architect, the maniacal one, the man who has a history with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns when those who have fought for a world championship. Ah, yes, WrestleMania 31 and the heist of the century. My prediction, and I've talked about this before, and I'm going to go into grand detail here right now for all of you. I am predicting Seth Rollins is going to win Money in the Bank. He's going to do something. I think he is going to cost Riddle. Riddle is going to be there ready to put his hands on that contract, and Seth Rollins is going to be the one to take that away from him because they're setting up the feud. They're setting up the match for Rollins and Riddle at SummerSlam. Seth Rollins is going to win. We will have the match between Riddle and Rollins at SummerSlam. It will be either the first or second match on the main show. They will put on a 15 to 17 minute classic match, doing everything that these guys do, where it looks like Riddle is going to overcome everything. He's going to do this match in honor of his guy Randy Orton. But Seth Rollins is going to do everything that he can. He's going to pull out every devious tactic he's got in his satchel. He's going to go for the stomp. I think he's going to go for the stomp. I believe they're going to do a carbon copy of what they did at WrestleMania 31. Rollins is going to go for the stomp, and Riddle is going to come out of somewhere with just an unbelievably crazy RKO for the victory, just like we saw in the opening of WrestleMania 31. So Seth Rollins, Mr. Money in the Bank, is going to be on the losing end. So we flash forward to the main event, the last man standing match. Roman Reigns, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion of the world, the head of the table, taking on the Beast Cowboy from Canada, Brock Lesnar. And these two are going to beat the living crap out of each other. There's going to be chairs. There's going to be tables. There's going to be steel steps. There's going to be the announcer's table. They're going to be thrown into the timekeeper's area. They're going to pull out every stop. But somehow, some way, Roman Reigns is going to get the victory. I don't know how he's going to do it or if he's going to get help, but he's going to win. And as he is celebrating, as a beaten down, broken Roman Reigns is in there celebrating, out comes Seth Rollins. Music doesn't hit this time. He comes flying down and bashes Roman Reigns in the head with the Money in the Bank contract. Hands the briefcase over and cashes in. Marcus, keep in mind, it's not an elimination match. It's not an elimination match. It's just the guy that climbs the ladder first will win. Seth Rollins will walk out of SummerSlam as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, only to be thwarted in the opening segment by Paul Heyman, who comes out and reminds Seth that, yes, you accomplished the repeat of the heist of the century, but you didn't read the details of the contract, the fine print, which is why I am the special counsel for the tribal chief, because he employs me for such a time as this. And the contract specifically states that the holder of this contract can cash in for the championship of their choosing at any time. That means a singular championship. Roman Reigns was the undisputed WWE and Universal Champion, holding 2 belts. You, my friend Seth Rollins, could only challenge for 1. So you must make the choice now of which one of those 2 belts you are going to return to Roman Reigns. So that is how we are going to get the split of the championships. Roman Reigns will return to SmackDown with a title, presumably the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins will remain on Raw with the WWE Championship, and we will have Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle for the Universal Championship. Seth Rollins versus Riddle, possibly at Clash at the Castle for the WWE Championship. There, I've booked the next couple of months of the championships for you. So back to it, though. Seth Rollins wins Money in the Bank. All right, let's see. We've got Luke. What? Lucas, you must be in Madison because you are obviously a hold of some of the weird college stuff at the Dave Matthews concert. Or Sami Zayn. Sheamus. Miz isn't in it. Sammy cashes in on one. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a world championship. Ooh, a failed cash-in. We haven't had a failed cash-in a while. We have not. Okay, so the Positive One and I both agree on Seth Rollins. Now on to the women's. Whoops, wrong one. The women's Money in the Bank match. And I'm sorry, Shotzi. Hold on. Let me fix something here real quick. There we go. I'm sorry, Shotzi. Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lacey Evans, Asuka, Shotzi Blackheart, and Alexa Bliss. 7 women vying for the championship. This actually could be an interesting match with the 7 ladies there. But I'm still holding on. And hold the phone here for a second. I want to take a look at something real quick here. Before I get to my pick or my prediction. Nothing that I can see right now. Okay. All right. So I've been saying for the better part of 2 weeks now that there is going to be a surprise. We are going to have some sort of a surprise at this show. It is not going to be Bayley. Bayley has been cleared. They are just waiting to find the right creative moment to bring her in, which will most likely be, it could be at the end of one of the women's championship matches, or it may be as early as Raw. But as you see pictured here, and I'm sorry, Instagram, you can't see it, there are 7 women pictured here. One of two things is going to happen. Either one of these 7 ladies is not going to make it into the match, or an 8th woman is going to get added. A power play is going to be made. And that woman that's going to be added into that match is going to be Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is going to, or Charlotte's going to pull a Brock Lesnar and come in late in the match and somehow insert herself into the match because she's the queen. And she is going to win the Money in the Bank, which is going to further just drive Becky Lynch down the road of absolute insanity because she couldn't win the Money in the Bank contract. Now, I will, for the sake of sanity here, though, I will make a pick, though. If Charlotte Flair does not happen, I believe it's going to be Lacey Evans. Regardless, Becky Lynch is not winning. I'd love to see Alexa Bliss win it. I'd actually be happy seeing Liv Morgan winning it. But with all the buildup that they gave her for weeks and weeks and weeks, it's going to be Lacey Evans, and she's going to turn heel because she will cash in on one of the 2 babyface champions. And I think, I'm not sure which one she'll cash in on, because technically she's a SmackDown star, but she can go on whatever show she wants. The Money in the Bank contract means you can go after whatever champion you want. And that's why I don't believe there is going to be a cash in tomorrow night. So, if Charlotte Flair does not return somehow, some way, and get involved in this match, Lacey Evans will be the winner. So, I'm giving myself kind of a double there. I'm just predicting that there's got to be at least one surprise. There has to be at least one surprise on this show, and I believe that's what it's going to be. I truly believe that's what it's going to be, is that. Call me crazy, but we'll see. Positive one, he's gone with Asuka, which I think is interesting. Blake's going Liv Morgan. Lucas with the failed cash in. So you're thinking, wait, were you the one? Hold on. Oh, you said that Jay stops the cash in. That would be awesome if Seth did win, holds the belt until WrestleMania. Now, there was someone on YouTube. Actually, it was one of the guys from True Heel Heat. I forget which one it was. Hello, Tommy. Good to see you. That predicted that Cody Rhodes was actually going to be that 7th man, that he was going to find a way to come in and was going to climb the ladder one-armed, get the contract, and then disappear until Royal Rumble. And Seth would be the champion at some point in time, and he would cash in on Seth at Royal Rumble. But that's obviously not going to happen now. I think that would be absolutely terrible booking if they did that. I don't have high expectations for this show, but I said the same thing going into WrestleMania Backlash, and they kind of surprised me. I could go a perfect 6-0 on this show. I think I will do no worse than 4-2, quite honestly. I think the 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches is what could really end up stumbling me tomorrow night. We shall see. I will most likely, actually, I can guarantee you I will be on tomorrow night after the show. We'll talk about what happened. We'll see if there were any surprises. And maybe we'll do a little bit of fantasy booking. If neither of the two, well, obviously the men's contract is not going to get cashed in tomorrow night. We know that for certain. But if neither of the contracts, if the women's contract doesn't get cashed in tomorrow night either, we'll do a little bit of fantasy booking, I think. I mean, I've already done mine with the men's. And obviously, if Seth Rollins doesn't win, then we'll have to take a look at some other things. Okay? But if Seth does end up winning, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be there on the edge of my seat at SummerSlam, waiting to see it happen. And when it does, my goodness, there's going to be people out there that will say, oh yeah, I've predicted this all along. I have been saying this for almost a month now. I have been saying this for almost a month. And I could go back on the tapes and show you. This is even before Brock Lesnar came back. I said Seth Rollins was going to win and he would cash in. And as soon as Brock Lesnar came back, I was on this channel telling you exactly what was going to happen before anybody else did it. I can guarantee it. That is why I need to be booking WWE, because doggone it, they suck right now. Okay? So I am thankful we had Rampage after SmackDown tonight, because Rampage wasn't the greatest show, but to close out the show tonight, here's the thought that really hit me tonight watching SmackDown. You can definitely see the defined difference between wrestling and sports entertainment now, between WWE and AEW. WWE, you get 3 matches on a 2-hour show. You open up with 6 guys sitting on a ladder, 4 more guys coming down and talking. 5 guys and the big man. 4 more guys coming down. A bunch of people running their mouths. You get the newly vicious Viking Raiders coming out and a beatdown. You get 2 horrible backstage promos from a challenger and a champion. You get an absolutely god-awful 10-minute segment of a male modeling agency. You get the 2 best tag teams in the WWE basically doing a question and answer segment in the ring with podiums for everybody. And poor Caleb Braxton. You get a completely meaningless, good old-fashioned battle royal, which meant absolutely nothing. And then a fatal 4-way between 4 mid-carders for the last spot in Money in the Bank. Oh, yeah, and a 6-woman tag match. Absolute trash. Trash. You really got like 15 minutes of good stuff and an hour and 45 minutes of garbage. But that's sports entertainment for you. That's what you get. Compare that to 2 hours of Dynamite the other night. Again, wasn't a perfect show, but man, in 1 hour, they did more than SmackDown has done in the last month and a half. Okay. Marcus, I noticed you mentioned that last night and tonight. Goldberg is coaching his son in the independent wrestling circle. Well, yeah, his son is what, 15 now? 14, 15? So I can see that. If his son is showing interest in it, why not? Let him do it. If he thinks he's got a career in it. All right, I'm going to get out of here, everybody. Got a long day tomorrow. So enjoy as best you can Money in the Bank tomorrow night. We will be back on immediately following the show. I don't know when the planned end time is, but I will be here in the studio watching the show live. And as soon as the show goes off the air, we will be live on all of our channels here, and we will talk about Money in the Bank. So have a great Saturday, everybody, and we will talk to you tomorrow night.